Greetings and happy Hobo Days, coming at you from Prescott, Arizona on December 9th, Sunday. I'm just about ready to put the Sasnak and HOBOTECH sticker orders in the mail. We'll walk down to the mailbox and do that here in a few minutes. I want to let you guys know that I have a new polo shirt, new HOBOTECH embroidered polo shirt up on the hobotech.tv/shop website. I also want to let you know that we're doing a holiday sale starting today, as of the time you watch this video, through till Wednesday. So it's only a 3-day sale. If you use the coupon code HOBOHOLIDAYS at the checkout, you'll get 10% off. And you do need to order at least $10 worth of items in order to use the coupon. I would offer a larger coupon, but my profit margin on the merchandise is already very thin. A lot of those shirts and stuff I only make a couple of bucks on. I figure if you guys want to gift HOBOTECH merchandise to someone else, now is a good time to buy, because now you can get 10% off your entire order by using that coupon code. And of course the dog's going to bark. I checked with a company that does the printing for the shirts, and they say pretty much that you need to order by the 13th in order to make sure that your stuff gets in before Christmas Eve. So that's why I'm making this sale only 3 days, to kind of guarantee that your orders will be complete and shipped to you by the 21st. We're going to go ahead now and run these down to the box, and then for the rest of the video you'll get to see how I ran the heating pad and heating wire for winterizing the ROADTREK. This is something that pretty much anybody can duplicate. These are generic items that I got on Amazon, and I will post these items on Amazon for you to purchase if you decide you want to do the same thing. So let's get to it. And there we go. Your stickers are in the mail. Greetings, peoples. It is Saturday here at Stan's shop. So what I need to do now is I'm going to pull the single battery back out. I'm going to fish the wire down through for the 12 volt. And I need to take this panel off back here to access the fuse box and all the other stuff, so I can actually wire the stuff into the 12 volt system. I got a FAC-on tank heater pad. This is a 65 watt 12 volt pad that I'm going to try somehow to install on the bottom of the tank. And when I say try somehow, I'm going to show you what the problem is. See right here, these metal brackets are kind of in the way of getting this installed. They say you're supposed to install it by the drain where the flashlight's shining. So I'm supposed to kind of put it over here. So that's what I'm trying to figure out first. Okay, step one. I use the floor jack to support the corner of the tank. I remove this. It'll allow me to clean it. So I'm going to use soap and water on a rag first. Let that dry, then I'm going to use rubbing alcohol. Let that dry, then I'll stick the pad up. Just go ahead, and this is I use some dish soap and soak this up pretty good. Get all this growing off. So, probably would mount it something like this. The bar will go over one side of it. This should be just enough to keep the fresh water warm. Warm enough to not freeze. Okay, next step. Got some isopropyl alcohol and a clean rag. That should be good enough. We got the pad. Gotta take the sticky side off and stick it up. And there we go, it's up. Now what I'm going to do to protect the pad, because I do a lot of off-roading, I don't want bushes and stuff to tear at it. Stan gave me this piece of plastic board. I'm going to go ahead and put underneath it, and I'm going to use the brackets that are actually holding the tank up to compress the pad between this like a sandwich, kind of keep it all up in there, so even if that pad gets really wet or whatever, it's not going to come off the tank. Yeah, something like that. And then, fuck. Yeah, that's a little bit of a bitch to get that up there.
Which tank is this? The hot water or fresh water?
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt this back up so it's supporting it. Then we move the jack over here so I can loosen this and then kind of slide this up in there.
Tuck that in there, yeah, okay.
And that way that'll be compressed like a sandwich. I don't have to worry about it. I mean, yeah, shit's going to get up in here, but like water or anything will drain out. It's going to get dirty, but who cares? It's designed to be outside.
Right.
I guess it doesn't really need to have a lot of pressure, right?
I think just hold it right there.
Like to hold it so it doesn't
when you take it off, it won't fall.
Yeah.
Nope, you're doing good. Not moving at all. Okay, tighten it up, tighten back up. I'm gonna go get some antifreeze and we'll clean them. We're gonna squish that on there. What it is, I think you're taking it off and that nylon thread in that washer in there.
Yeah, it's the nylon in there. That's being a little bit of a bitch. It's probably gonna come off now. There it goes.
Wiener?
I think so.
I think we have a wiener.
Winner chicken dinner. See, you guys can see the final product here. This is the plastic sheeting. Goes all the way down there. We got put a new nut here in the rail just to make it nice and stable. And that's it for the pad installation. All I have to do is run the wires. So we're running the wire down through the floor right underneath the primary battery of the road truck. There's actually a little plug under the battery that allows the wires and everything for the electrical system to run under the battery. So I just basically drilled a hole in that plug, and now I'm running this wire down here. So I got this nice 14 gauge marine wire. It's pure copper, so it's not that cheap junk. Runs right up through the floor. I'm going to run it right along the top of the suspension because this part doesn't flex. So there's a bolt there. I'm going to put a zip tie, and it runs the other side of the tire, and then I'm going to zip tie it there. And then, believe it or not, I couldn't believe it. You see these? These were plugs that go into the fiberglass. I guess ROADTREK put these in here originally to run some cabling, and they never needed them, so they just plugged them back up. So I just popped that plug out, perfect size, and run the cable through. So run the cable through that plug in the back there. You can see it there. Run the cable through that plug up to here. I'm going to mount the thermostat up here, and then the wire will go run back down through the same hole and then over to the tank, fresh water tank, heating pad. So let's go for that right now. All right. In order for me to reach the pipes, they put the plastic pipe going from the tank to the water pump way up against the floor. So they have this heat shielding. There's this big piece of heat shield with, I think, 6 or 8 screws and then 2 more of these brackets. I found it easier to take them off the bottom than try to get to the side of the bracket, but Yeah, this is the pain in the butt because now I got this off. I got to reach up there and put some aluminum foil on the pipes. So that's the fun part. Okay, here's the part I hated the most. I got aluminum foil all the way up in there. That was really hard. I mean, it's not a very good job, but I got it all the way up to the water pump. So that's how long I'm gonna run this. That's not perfect, but the point of the aluminum foil is just to prevent the pipe from getting too hot and melting. Now there's water in this pipe at all times, so the chance of the pipe actually getting too hot and melting is very, very low. Okay, here we are coming back to the home stretch. I'm gonna show you where we're at. So don't ask me how, but I got the insulation on the pipe all the way around. I just cut it in little pieces and did a little piece at a time. I ran the insulation all the way to the end here. This part is not heated. This is the drain. Yeah, yes, it could possibly freeze. But it said something about like this cable will heat up the water enough that it probably won't freeze at the end. Really, it's about keeping the water running instead of worrying about it freezing too solid. Because there's other pipes here on the ROADTREK that are exposed that I really should get another heater cable and do this to those. But this is to keep the fresh water going. So essentially, I have the heater cable here on the bottom, and I have it run all the way up. And this is insulated. I'm just going to put the insulation here. Oops. I'm just going to put the insulation here along this part, and then once it's all insulated, I'm going to strap this up higher, so we don't have to worry about this catching on any branches or anything that I might run over. Okay, there's the temperature sensor connected to the tank. I don't know if you can see in there or not, but that's the brass fitting that the mechanic put in there. Then I just have this cable zip tied down to here, where I plug it in with using a 8-foot extension into the ROADTREK. That I could actually drive with it plugged in if I wanted to, but this is more for like a stationary camping situation. I'm going to test it out and see how it works. So I'm going to just do the rest of this pipe with insulation and then wire it up, and then I need to run my electrical. See down there that wire hanging down, I got to run that up here. I'm going to run it along the same length, right at this crack right here. I'm going to run it right through there and right up along the exact same place where this is going, so I can wire everything up, and that's it. So back to work. The final step is to hook the wires from the heating pad to the wires I ran from the back. You can see here I got all the insulation done and zip tied. Got the power cable all zip tied up in there. I got some additional baling wire from Stan. Although I zip tied the water pipe up, I wanted to make sure there was a backup this time made of metal, just in case a zip tie breaks or decays. You know, if one of these breaks, it's no big deal, but this pipe hangs down like this without this being held up, and that's what caused it to get ripped out of here this time. So you can see where I ran the white cable. I ran it all the way down to the back and kind of alongside the water pipe. I don't want to put it really right on it if I didn't have to. So there we go. I'm just gonna make these last connections. Basically, I'm using the butt connectors. Then I got some shrink tubing, and then I'm gonna tuck it up in there, and then we're good to put this big ass heat shield back on. That's gonna be the fun part, is putting it back up on these brackets. There's like 8 screws that go up there, and now we can bring this thing down. Well, here it is Monday. Stan got a job, so he's going to be taking off. He kicked me out of the garage. I got all my stuff out here. I'm going to put it in the basket. Come back here. See, it's all empty. I'm going to fill all this back up. Strap the bike down. Stan's got his van in there. And I'm going to end up staying another night. Just parked right here.
Need anything else? You got everything you think?
I got everything I need.
Okay.
So you guys are probably curious about the generator. Well, it's running okay. Got a hole in the muffler. You probably can't see, just a little bit of smoke coming out. Just a little bit of smoke coming out. That's normal. Once I start it up, it has been running for a week. It's actually running a little fast. It might be because of the altitude. I kind of have this thing tuned up for 6,000–7,000 feet. So I'm probably need to adjust the idle a little bit. And yeah, I'm a mess. I'm working pretty hard since I got up this morning to get everything outside the workshop. So Stan is gone. He took off in the semi. And I'm gonna just go have some lunch, sit down for a couple minutes, and then get back out here and get busy. I want to get everything put back in the basket before dark. I think I might even run into town and get some food and fill up on water and stuff like that. I used pretty good. I was here about 10 days. I only used about 20 gallons of water, so that's not too bad. I need a shower, so that's next on the agenda. All right, I turned the generator on to microwave my breakfast, which I didn't eat yet, which is now lunch. So I'm gonna do that and just relax for half hour, then come back out and finish everything.
Odin commands you to like and subscribe, and clean my litter box.
And stay out!
Yeah, I didn't pay my rent, so he threw me out.
Eviction notice.
Yeah.
Now I gotta go back to work, people, so gonna lock everything up.
Hey, thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe, share, and like. And we'll see you guys next time. Say hi, Odin.
Joe Lazaro.